If there's one core belief that has guided and inspired me every step of the way, it is this: the United States is an exceptional nation. We are also an indispensable nation. In fact, we are the indispensable nation. When we say America is exceptional, it doesn't mean that people from other places don't feel deep national pride just like we do. It means that we recognize America's unique and unparalleled ability to be a force for peace and progress, a champion for freedom and opportunity. American leadership means leading with our values, in pursuance of our interests.
The Doctors Without Borders hospital in Kunduz is still closed after U.S. forces bombed it on Saturday.
In protection of our security, at our best, the United States is the global force for freedom, justice, and human dignity. Because when America fails to lead, we leave a vacuum that either causes chaos or other countries or networks rush in to fill the void.
In Libya right now, assassinations, bombings, and kidnappings take place almost daily.
It's ahead, but I can't, sitting here today, predict to you exactly how it's going to play out. But we believe that Libya will have a better shot in the future if he departs and leaves power.
I know we can't cozy up to dictators. We have to stand up to them. We can't contain ISIS. We must defeat them, and we will. I am delighted to welcome His Royal Highness here to the State Department. Bahrain is a valued ally. The Foreign Minister of Honduras here today. He's been in Washington holding a series of meetings with a number of officials, both from our government and others as well. And the steps that President Lobo and his government have taken deserve our support.
We do think that this has evolved into a coup. The president, as you know, has been expelled. Another person has been substituted for the president.
And we think that Honduras has taken important and necessary steps that deserve the recognition and the normalization of relations. Unique and unparalleled ability to be a force for peace and progress, a champion for freedom and opportunity. Force for peace and progress, for peace and progress, for peace and progress, for freedom, justice, and human dignity. I was deeply honored to be part of that small group advising the president. I brought to those discussions my experience as a senator from New York on 9/11 and my commitment to do whatever I could in whatever role I had to bring bin Laden to justice. You've all seen the picture of us crowded into the smaller Situation Room watching the video screen.
No, not at all. We had some observation of the approach there, but we did not have direct flow of information as to the actual conduct of the operation itself as they were going through the compound.
So yes, every second counted.
Did the president see the shots fired at Osama bin Laden?
No, not at all.
I was holding my breath through the entire operation. So we've got to step up our game. Let's modernize our Army and Marines, our Navy and Air Force, our Coast Guard. We need to respond to evolving threats.
We've redeployed well over 100,000 troops from Iraq and Afghanistan so they can go home, rest, and train for future contingencies. States like Russia and China, Iran and North Korea. That means giving the Pentagon the stable, predictable funding it needs to make smart investments.
Getting defense spending. We talk about 2%. When I was doing NATO issues under the George H.W. Bush administration, it was all about 4%. And now we're settling for 2%. Let's show that Europe is going to have real commitment to military forces. But what arming the Ukrainians can do is, one, recognize the right of people to have the means to defend their country against invasion, but two, it will raise the cost of what Russia is doing in Ukraine, because we know that even President Putin is sensitive to body bags coming back with Russian soldiers who've been killed in this adventure in Ukraine. So arming can raise the cost of Russian policy.
Well, first of all, I believe in her. We worked closely when she was the Secretary of State. She supported me enormously in Afghanistan when I commanded there. She set the conditions diplomatically for many of the things we were able to accomplish, not just in Afghanistan, but more broadly in the region. She really gets the fact that America is the indispensable power.
Defending American exceptionalism should always be above politics.
A former Bush administration official, Paul Wolfowitz, told reporters he may vote for Hillary Clinton.
I am deeply honored to have so many retired military leaders backing me. But in fact, my opponent in this race has said very clearly that he thinks American exceptionalism is insulting to the rest of the world.
We desire to live peacefully and in friendship with Russia and China. We have serious differences with these two nations and must regard them with open eyes. But we are not bound to be adversaries. We should seek common ground based on shared interests.
We now need Donald Trump to explain to us the extent to which the hand of the Kremlin is at the core of his own campaign. Himself is just a puppet for the Kremlin in this race.
In fact, when Vladimir Putin, of all people, criticized American exceptionalism, my opponent agreed with him.
Agent of the Russian Federation.
Unwitting
Agent of the Russian Federation.
Of the Federation has been recruited by Putin. That's why he's taken the positions he's taken.
You got orders from central control?
That borders on treason. I mean,
let's resist denigrating the patriotism or loyalty of those who disagree with us. America's ability to project power all over the globe remains essential.
I want